Hey guys, welcome back to techgooch, and today we're taking a peek at this. This is the Level 8 Hegent carry-on suitcase. Now I've done several Level 8 suitcase reviews, and this one reminds me a lot of the Free Loop. This one is slightly larger in terms of capacity, but not larger in terms of the overall size, because they're actually utilizing the space a little bit better in this one. So today, we're going to go through this. This is the Hegent by Level 8, and we're going to open it up. I'm going to show you exactly how I have it packed, and yeah, what I like about it, and maybe some things I don't. So let's get into it. So first of all, I'm just going to kind of go around the suitcase itself. It is what I would call a hybrid suitcase, in that it is a polycarbonate shell, but it does have an aluminum frame, so there's no zipper. It's a zipperless frame design. So you're going to see kind of like the briefcase style ports here for locking it up. It does have a 3-digit code on each of those. Aluminum going down the backbone of the entire suitcase. On the back side, we have aluminum hinges. So the nice thing about this is, and I'll show you this even with all the stuff I have in here, I have this fully packed up for basically an 8-day trip. Open it up like so, and nothing's gonna fall out. It's gonna be clamshelled, right? It's not zippered, so it's not gonna be all loose and around. But all my stuff's in there, as you can see. And then just like a standard briefcase, I do have it packed pretty good. Boom, and done. So the nice thing about this, even having to get something in here, I find framed luggage my preferred type of luggage. Now, I would argue between the differences between like a polycarbonate shell and an aluminum shell. Polycarbonate's a little more forgiving, and of course, it's a lot lighter, and it takes more abuse, I should say, without damage, which I would say that most people are going to prefer a polycarbonate shelled luggage. However, having that aluminum frame gives the rigidity and function that I absolutely love. Now, it does have spinner wheels on it, so the standard Level 8 wheels that you're going to find in pretty much most of their suitcases. It's very, very standard. It rolls really nicely. No matter the floor type, when you get on the softer carpets at hotels, or you get on the really, really rough stuff, these wheels, they work good. I'm not going to argue they work about good as about anybody else's, but there are a few out there that roll a little bit nicer. So I will say that. It does have a telescoping handle. That telescoping handle, which I will show in a little bit, has 4 interlocking positions, 38 liters of capacity. It's like 15 by 9 by like 21.2, I think is what it's rated at for the size. So it's going to fit most domestic and probably even international carry-ons, but you will have to go through your specific air carrier to verify that. That said, look-wise, obviously it's a black suitcase, but this nice yellow badge here makes it stand out, and it is kind of set in, so it's not sticking out. It's a very nice suitcase. Like I said, it reminds me a lot of the Free Loop, and if you want to check out that video, I will put a link to it here as well, so definitely check that one out. But that said, let's open this guy up. Let's show you what I actually like about this one more than I do about the Free Loop. Before I pop this guy open, just wanted to give you a little bit closer view of the actual lock here. It does have a 3-digit code that you can set, and once it's set, you can basically set it whenever it's unlocked and open, because there's a lever kind of on the underside that you have to push in to set the code. But once it's set, once it's locked, it's good to go. So very similar to any other TSA style lock. Okay, let's pop the latches and open her up and get her to lay flat. Now you can see real quick, there are 2 different style compartments in this suitcase. One has a zippered compartment, one has what is called a compression style compartment, and we're going to go through each separately, and I'm going to tell you the benefits of both. This has, like I said, a zippered style. Now on the inside facing part of it, there are compartments, and you can kind of see this has kind of a smoke item, but it is plastic lined. So if something was to, let's say you put shampoo or something in here and it ruptured, yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of a pain to clean up, but it's not gonna get in everything, to be honest about it. So there is this compartment here, and then this is a mesh compartment on this side. So airy and nice and open. You can choose to use these however you see fit. Typically, I just put light items in here. If I put light items in here at all depends on how far I'm going and where I'm going and what I'm doing. But they are there for you to use. Then, if I open it up right now, I'm currently using this as my storage compartment for my bags in terms of this is my tech pouch, this is my wash pouch, this is my footwear and swimsuit pouch because it's waterproof and keeps things not smelling like footwear. Or bathing suit for that matter. And then I usually have a bag, maybe I have a camera in here, whatever. This is where I keep a lot of my tech stuff. Usually I keep this on the bottom side. And in this case, there's the reason, and I'll explain that here in a second, why I have them opposite. But if I didn't have compression bags for my clothing, and I wasn't going for a long period of time, in my case over 7 days usually, then I would fill the clothing on this side, and then this is just a nice zippered compartment to keep my clothing separate, and I can keep my clothing in here at all times. I'm not a person that once I get to a hotel that I take my clothing out. I'm not a big fan of that. I don't want any bed bug or anything that get into my clothing that's not coming with me. So I keep it away from other stuff. I don't use drawers in hotel rooms. Hey, everybody does their own thing and I have nothing against that. I just personally don't. I live on my suitcase when I'm away from home and I'm on vacation or what have you. But the nice thing is if you don't need compression of your clothing, this is a nice separated item that you can basically put out your clothing exactly how you see fit and then close it with the zipper. These zipper compartments are very common, very easy to find throughout the industry. They're very standard. Nothing against this. It works good. I think I prefer this to what you'll see if you actually watch my free loop video where they have basically a divider that you stretch and then basic clips onto 2 points here. And that's because of the clips that stick out from the side here. Those little things that stick out, they tend to grab things sometimes. And we've actually had it damage some of our Ziploc compression bags that we like to pack with. They just clipped it just right. And so I actually think I like these style dividers more than that. But what do I like even more than this style? This style. I would love to see a suitcase like this that has 2 of these compressions, 1 for each side, because I love compression style sides. And that is because it literally compresses things. You can crank this sucker down and compress your stuff down. Now this frame, let me undo this real quick. And it literally just unclips, slips out real quick. So undo. And now it has this. This is the compression divider. It's just a plastic frame essentially, but it does have a zippered compartment with a mesh compartment in here as well, larger than the other side because it's one big compartment. And once you undo that compression part, this is loose. You can take this out of the way. It's not attached to anything, which I think has a benefit and a cost. If they had an attachment point, I could see them attaching it to this side so it actually is attached to this, so you could flip it out and it would kind of just hang on the back side over here. But I understand why it doesn't need to be. It doesn't really do any benefit other than the fact that make sure that you don't forget it anywhere. But you can see I'm actually currently in this, with this trip that I packed for, everything's in compression bags. So this is my underwear, socks, and then this is my shorts, shirts, pants, and technically pajama pants. That's all in here. So these are, if you're not familiar with these are made by Peak Design. I thoroughly love these compression bags, but that's not a video on this. This is just my bag of choice just because of how lightweight it is. But if you weren't using compression bags and you use this, you can obviously see real quick that once I have it compressed, you can see the bag, my stuff around it, right? So if there was loose clothing in here, it's going to have an apt to kind of stick out a little bit sometimes. And that's the reason why if I have a compartment like this, a zippered compartment, that's where I'll use it in here because it's not going to, accidentally fall out. However, the nice thing about if you have any loose items in here is that same thing. They're not going to bounce around and fall out as well. So in how I currently have it, like I said, compression bags that I have in here that I'm then recompressing with this strap. And once you just take that strap and you put it on there and you compress down. Now I will say that I have multiple suitcases that has this compression style binder area. I have a $1,500 Rimowa suitcase that has compression strap. This one here in this Level 8 is actually built heavier than my Rimowa one. This suitcase is nowhere close to the price of that Rimowa suitcase, but I can crank this sucker down because it is attached here, here, and here. very, very solidly. They did a really good job of giving you the capability of really compressing things down. So that's why I put the clothing on this side, because this compression strap that it comes with is very robust. So that's something that I definitely wanted to point out. And I liked it in the free loop. I even like it more in this specific lineup. So that, yeah, that's that. So like I said, the handle itself, just like any other suitcase for the most part, you push the button on the very top and it telescopes up. There are four holes for it to, you basically choose your spot. So this is the tallest. Bring it down one, bring it down one, bring it down one, and then roll all the way down. And if you want to see how tall that is on me, I'm 5'11", all the way up, right here, nice, comfortable angle for my arm, and down, well, let's see, that's down one, down two, down. This is the lowest setting. Yeah, so I mean, obviously, if you're gonna put it at an angle, this is way too low for me, but the nice thing about having it high up, that's about the perfect height that pretty much most, if not all, suitcases usually set to that standard height. So that is the Level 8 Hegent carry-on. It is a wonderful carry-on. I really, really like this suitcase, especially at the price, $239 retail. That's the standard stock price that you're going to find this. If you find it on a deal, even better. But this suitcase is solid. Now, what is the one thing that I would honestly personally change that I don't like about this suitcase that some people would? The color. I am 100% pro different multi-bright colored suitcase. And that is, in case you do have to put it on, check it, and it's coming out on that conveyor belt at the airport, this black suitcase is not going to stand out. Now, this yellow tag here definitely helps, but if it comes out this way, it's all black. So you got to get, you know, if this was something that I'm going to travel with all the time, and I do a lot of reviews, so I'm constantly changing what suitcase I bring with me, I would want something that's going to stand this out. So I'd probably be putting stickers on it, personally. I understand why, I mean, I don't like putting stickers on stuff as much, but I kind of do. It's kind of back and forth. At least the polycarbonate shell is not too rough, or you can definitely put stickers on it, especially if it's got a nice sticky material. Look, I really like this suitcase, especially like at the price point. The free loop was the same way. I think that is a fantastic suitcase at its price point of $219. A little bit more gets you a little more volume of capacity inside the suitcase, and it gets you the better divider on that one side. All in all, Hegent is a great suitcase. I would love for them to bring out some brighter color options. Red, orange, green, blue, something bright that stands out. But I will be honest, I also have friends that, nah, I want it black, I want it toned down, I want it to be, you know, how my favorite colors. It's similar to vehicles, whites and blacks. They're very, very popular. They sell or silver, I should say, too. But that is the one thing that I would like to see, is the option for some really bright colors. But all in all, I don't check my suitcases, especially my carry-on suitcases. I don't like checking them. I like having them with me at all times. And this one's very robust in terms of its capability, and it's very well laid out. So I will put a link to it at the top of the description. If you want to check it out over at Level 8, by all means, hit that link, check it out. Level 8, thank you for sending this over to me, because I have been substantially impressed by their suitcase, their luggage in general, and each one they send me has been slightly different than the last, which I really like. I like different options, because nobody likes the same thing that I like, and nobody likes the same thing that they like. It's all various different options. That's what makes various luggage a thing, right? That's why there's so many options on the market. So Level 8, good job on the Hegent. Everybody here, check it out at their website, and we'll catch you back here on techgooch for another future video review. We'll see you again soon.